Hi, this is Kevin from WordBot, and in this video, I'm going to be going over call to action in digital marketing. So, call to action is what a lot of companies use to try to get and entice readers to basically fall through on a particular action that they want, whether it's buying something, reading something, clicking on something. So, you usually see that a lot in digital marketing when you're using when you got a lot of users who are using like email ads, and you'll see those little nuances that says, hey, buy now or watch now, add to cart, subscribe, download. Those are all particular call to actions that you'll typically use when you're trying to entice users or get more users to convert. So what I'm going to do in this video is kind of go through just a couple different ones that you would probably come across or would like to implement in some of the strategies that you want. So some of the different call to actions examples would be email call to actions. So if you would see something as far as like, the subject headline saying, hey, 30% off, act now, that would be something that you would see as like a enticing call to action to then inside the email get the user to buy now. And those are the things that you would typically pick up on as you're trying to try new scenarios and things like that. So I'm going to open up, go to google.com, and then we're just going to look for some email call to actions. And this is a good way to kind of start your strategy as far as looking for what other people are using. So here you're going to see 75 call to actions your next email campaigns needs. So these are going to be ones that you'll see, and typically you'll want to write these down and kind of get an idea on, hey, if this worked for another customer, maybe it can work for me. So you see all of these different ones that say shop now, get 50% off. Yes, I want one. Order now. Repeat your order. You got ones for the holidays, things like that. So as you're building out your email campaign and any of the content that's going to be inside of it, you'll want to kind of take heed of what some of the others have used that kind of bode similar results. Because the one thing that's going to be difficult as well is also being able to monitor, because you'll have to run iterations of these campaigns for different users to kind of build a profile on what works best. So when you create the content for email marketing, you want to make sure that it's interesting for your reader, not only just for the reader to click on it, but to make sure that they follow through on the action that's going to be enticing for them. And so another thing going into that, which is big now, is social media ads. So social media is big on marketing now. You got a lot of influencers, a lot of people selling content online, because a lot of spaces such as like radio and advertising on TV, it's still there, but you got a lot of users who are consumed in social media more so than they are on actual devices such as TVs and radios and stuff like that. So if we go back to Google here and we look at Facebook ads, and let's actually put in Facebook ads call to action examples. And we're just going to look at some different examples. And this could be one way that you kind of figure out based on call to action examples for, let's say, selling let's think watches. So you might not find particularly for watches, but you could say, let's say you'll get some examples of what others have used to sell other products. So as you can see, get started with AdSense, Ad Espresso. Those are for webinars. Let's see something for selling products. Okay, here we go. So let's say, buy now and get 50% off. Lose weight in just 6 weeks. Limited time offer, get free shipping. So now, not only are these, you may think, well, what's the difference between social media and doing something through email or, other indices? So here's another call to action: subscribe. So they're trying to get you to subscribe. They want your information. But going back to what I was saying with the email and social media, you may be thinking like, well, what's the difference? I could use the same stuff across, email that I would use in social media, and you typically could. That's one way to kind of, do some split testing to see if what works in one medium will it work in another. So you're in the only thing with social media sometimes is people have like short attention time spans in today's world. So you're only going to have, and then also you only have so much space to fit your message in. So versus like a computer, desktop, you got to understand the type of medium the users are going to be coming from as well. So as you kind of browse the internet, you see all these different ads. Like this is an ad here, as you can see. It says start your free trial now. So basically, like if you're looking for a digital advertising way to, made easy, fast, and effective, you could typically click on that. And now, here's another call to action. Start your free 14-day trial. Then you click all your information, continue. So everything's about getting and enticing the user to keep following through on the particular action that they want. Now, websites, so you're going to see a lot of this on websites, like, some popular ones. And when you're doing research, you want to look at what like a lot of the big corporations are using, because, they spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing. So they typically kind of know like what kind of makes people tick. iPad Pro Supercharge, buy M2. Learn more, buy now. You got your stream now. These are because, it's streaming. So if you're on like something like Walmart.com or Best Buy, let's go to Best Buy and look at what they're doing here. So on their front page, they're going to have some save up to 50% with Cyber Savings events. Shop all Cyber Monday deals. So this is just a good way to kind of curate some different call to action buttons, because your buttons are also going to be what entices users to click, because you want to go by there's things like colors and fonts and things like that you can only fit in so much of a area with that button, that you want to kind of make sure you grasp the user's attention too. So some tips for buttons is you want to have the size of the buttons to kind of not be too big or too small, because you want them to be able to read it, but you also don't want it, too big to where it's like just oversized and just kind of doesn't look clean and refreshing. Another thing is color. Sometimes with color, you want to contrast what makes the user kind of correlate to your brand. You might see a lot of blues. Sometimes you might see red, depending on like what it is that they're going to be doing. So clearance. This looks like you can kind of click. It's a link. You got to learn more. It's a yellow. So more of a yield type deal. You might maybe see some green sometimes, depending on if they want like an immediate action. So there's some psychological things behind some of the different buttons, and then also location. If the location kind of correlates to where the user's eyes are looking, that's going to help, make sure like it's front and center sometimes, to the right or the left, if it's, kind of big in the middle, things like that. So that's just a quick little video on, if you're trying to figure out some call to actions for your blog, newsletter, ways to get more people to buy your products. Always, try to look at some other people in your space to kind of get an idea on what you could potentially use for your websites and stuff like that. So again, my name's Kevin, one of the co-founders of WordBot. So if you ever need any type of AI SEO related tools to help enhance your website, you can always head over to wordbot.io, and you can visit and sign up and test out some ways to kind of generate some call to action buttons, or not buttons, but words for your website to use, and also be able to see what some of your competitors are doing. And then check out our blog.wordbot.io for some tips and tricks on some of the different things that I talked about today. Again, thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you next time.